are going to start this segment with a holiday gift segment, which means gift price points. Take a look at number 1. Wow. It has been 9 months since we have had an opportunity to see the 52mm Pro Diver Combat Seal. It is a massive timepiece. It is an incredible value. It's going to come packaged in a 1-slot dive case valued at $40, so ready to gift, and at 50% off. After selling over 3,700, we've already sold over 3,700 of these. We have 300 for tonight's show. 120 in the black, 60 in the gold tone, 60 in the iridescent, and 60 in the silver tone for just a little over $100 for a value pay of $18.33. This is one of the largest of its kind pro divers, and everybody loves the Combat Seal, don't they, Ryan?
Everybody does love the Combat Seal. So we brought this back. We have the 4 different color executions available for you. There is just so much going into this watch, and we only come out with this design a couple times a year, a couple different models of this timepiece. So you're looking in at a big 52mm when it comes to this timepiece out there, and you get 500 meters of water resistance, Candy. And the design of the case is similar to our Grande Pro Diver, that extra large Pro Diver design that's been done, but we always have that on the strap. This is that bracelet variation, as you'll see, unidirectional rotating bezel, but listen to the glide of that. I mean, you just don't expect that at a price of $109.99 to be able to get into this timepiece. So, and I love all the different colors. We should probably go through those, though.
This will likely be the final quantities of the year on these 4 color executions. I am holding the silver tone. The silver tone features the gray dial, the blue bezel, and the blue sub-dials. Then we have the gold tone. The gold tone, much the same, but in the reverse. So you've got the gold tone bezel, the gold tone base. Guys, it can cost you over $100 just to gold plate a watch in another brand's name. All right, so full bracelet version, which is ridiculous at $109.99. Blue dial, blue accents. So I am down to fewer than 4 dozen in the silver tone blue, fewer than 4 dozen in the gold tone. Then we have the iridescent, of which we are down to 4 dozen available. And that leaves us with 100 in the black, which is absolutely positively the combat version.
So hot. All right,
And there's the 1-slot dive case. In case you've not seen it before, your watch will come delivered in that. So ready to gift.
Yeah, package in a $39.25 single slot impact case for you. Look at this black. Look at this combat variation that goes along. 52mm on the case diameter of this watch. 20mm, we're talking about the profile. That is how high it's sitting up from the wrist. That means it's over 3/4 of an inch. This is a new bracelet that we've never had before, only and except on the Combat Seal that we have on this watch. So on the inside of the timepiece, we feature in the VD53. That is a quartz movement operated on a battery, tells you the time, tells you the date. There's a 24-hour scale, as you'll see at that 3 o'clock register, and then a 60-minute chronograph that will dictate with you between the 2 different sub-dials at the 6 o'clock and the 9 o'clock position on the inside. The bezel will rotate counterclockwise, unidirectional rotating bezel, and just deliver such a confident, such a stylish look on your wrist for a value pay of $18.33.
You know, if you want to shock, thrill, and amaze whoever that person is on your gift list, where you've got about $100 to gift them, spend that extra $10 and get this home. I don't know which one you want to go for, but I would say that if they love leather, definitely tune in at 1 a.m. Eastern time, because all of the jackets that we're wearing are coming up in Todd Newton's show a little bit later tonight. It's his Mark Leather show. All of the jackets for him and for her. And then gift this alongside of it. Yes, you have holiday return privileges. So if you're looking at this thinking, oh, you know what, I think my husband would love the Combat, but I'm really not sure if he likes the Combat or the blue, so I'm going to get both and put them under the tree. Just so you know, there's risk-free shopping. Typically, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, but right now, holiday return privileges through the end of January. So you can return up through the end of January. In addition to that, we are running a promotion on our Evine credit card, which means if at checkout your order is over $499, that means you qualify for 12-month financing on the Evine card. So it can be any watches that you want. If at checkout you're over $499, and if you don't have an Evine card, you can call us and apply for one. If you're approved for one, and you likely will be, you can use it and take advantage of the 12-month financing. Value Pay is something you use on your major credit card, and that is off to the side of the screen. Well, it was, and it will be again. And the Value Pays on this watch are $18.33. So you can also pay that off interest-free over 6 months if you prefer to do that. Do you have a pick, my friend?
You know, the black version, the Combat, is super, super hot, but I just want to put on the gold tone version because so I guess it's a customer favorite too right now. So, but look at the gold, how it just pops off the wrist, especially when I'm wearing all these darker colors here tonight. So you can see that gold tone variation, blue dial, that Invicta blue on the inside. And notice too, the distressed look in a vertical fashion for each one of the 3 different registers on the inside. Larger Arabic numerals going all the way around. So it's very, very easy to be able to dictate the time. You guys take this watch swimming, snorkeling, and diving because this watch will deliver in all those aspects.
Ladies, you're going to wonder if you can wear this. I want you to see this black with my rock and black leather jacket. The lugs are formed in such a way that even though this is a thick watch at 20 millimeters, look at the way it wraps around my wrist. I put this on with this leather jacket. You know what it says? Don't mess with me.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Don't mess with me. Thanks, Ryan.
I'll see you in a little bit.
We're going to see Ryan in a little bit. A lot of you are. I'm sorry, we're not broadcasting live on Facebook, but still, if you go to Watch Connection and look at Power Play, you can chat there, and we'll give you some shout-outs here in just a minute. Well, this is Ryan's pick of the day. It's coming up a little bit later. This is the first reserve Venom on a bracelet that we have had with an interchangeable system to the silicone strap in over 3.5 years. It's back, but boy, it's limited. And you know who I think we're getting out of the no-buy zone? Rico is chatting on the Watch Connection. Rico Stallings, he says, are you kidding me? The hydroplated Akula, and I'm in the no-buy zone. Yep, we want all your money, Rico. $149.99 is your price today. Silver tone or gold tone, lowest price by far ever. And a big shout out to Travis again, who's loving our leather.
And I just saw on
Jewelry.
my Facebook page, it's Gina's birthday tomorrow, so she was gonna.
Happy birthday, Gina!
Little shout out. She was on the cruise last year, I believe, so hopefully she can come again this year.
And again, we're giving shout outs. You'll find an Invicta Power Play kind of like post on our new Watch Connection Facebook page.
It's so cold in the studio.
Justin Zimmer
today
is rocking the leather jacket. What do you think, guys?
Oh.
You've got the bomber style.
Is that what this is?
I've got the blazer style for the ladies. Yes, and this is all coming up with Todd Newton tonight.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Special.
Except for that the holidays are under now 2 months away. And we wanted to offer you a screaming deal on a Bolt. This timepiece
Look at that dial.
Was actually at today's top value in December. Thousands and thousands of them sold in December. Sold out completely. It took us 6 months to get more back in stock. We brought it back in June. We have a good quantity left. And so we thought, you know what? So that everyone can put the most fabulous abalone bolt under the tree for Christmas, for this show, we have a holiday price of $129.99, which is the lowest price by far ever on this timepiece. And the cool thing is you have 4 executions to choose from. That is the gold tone black. We also have the gold tone, which the gold tone, guys, only 200. That's all we have. This is the gold tone. So gold tone case, gold tone bracelet, gold tone cabling, just a little bit of silver tone in the keepers. In the silver tone gold tone, which is this one right here, 150 left. Silver tone with the gold tone cable, that's called silver tone gold tone, and about 150 remaining in the two-tone execution, which is way over here. The two-tone is my favorite because you get a little taste of everything, and the two-tone about 180 remaining.
Nice.
This is not a $129
No,
watch.
no. When I see this watch, what I think too is we've kind of merged some styles into one watch, by the way. The first thing you're going to notice when you pick this watch up, that's a heavy build.
Yeah.
I mean, that's over-engineered. That's what you come to love from Invicta. Let's talk about history just real quick so you can really understand what we're talking about. Keep in mind, we're pushing 200 years in the watch industry, really relaunching that brand in the early 90s with a Pro Diver. We're going to see multiple different variations of probably that tonight. But that's the reason why we're getting into this quality. We've been doing it for a very long time. So we're taking a bracelet from a reserve, and we'll get into that later in the show too, reserve speedway design. This is what's called a 3-link design, but you have a massive center link that is beautifully done, beautifully machined, completely mirror polished, and put together just for you. But that is solid. Nothing is hollow, right? Nothing is folded on here. That's about premium execution. And the fit and finishing techniques that we've been talking about quite a bit, they're all right here. Look at the beautiful mirror polishing with the brushed finishing on here. That's a standout design. So Reserve Speedway bracelet from years ago. Then we get into the Bolt series. Now, the Bolt series is all about the cable work, and of course, that's well over a decade ago when we first started that, extremely popular. We've re-engineered on this particular style the bezel to accommodate that design too. So we're talking about re-engineering high level of design for a $21.67 value pay. But now, one of the most famous watches ever, Sub-Aqua 1, same crown design that's been done on this. So we've ported over a similar crown design from the Sub-Aqua 1 into this style, creating a super style at a holiday price. And we haven't even talked about the dials yet.
You know, the one that Justin's holding right now is your silver tone, gold tone. So it's silver tone on the bracelet, silver tone on the case with a gold tone cable. That's silver tone, gold tone. That is one that really pops from across the room.
It's a good look.
It is the weight and the heft and the integrity that you typically find in a reserve level timepiece. Now, I'm not, trying to make you think this is reserve level. It's not. But I think you'd be hard pressed to determine what makes this different than any other reserve level timepiece on there. In the finishing, it's 100 meters water resistant. Swim in it all day long. It has a flame fusion crystal. Now, I'm wearing the gold tone. Wow. The gold tone.
Yeah.
All drenched in gold on the bracelet, all drenched in gold on the case. The only thing that you see in the silver tone is that large rack that keeps that gold tone cable in place.
I love that we've done that too, because when you start selectively doing things in gold tone, rose tone, silver tone, it allows the details to really pop. So you're going to notice that the cable work is done in gold tone, but the silver tone allows that cable to really pop on this watch. If we would have utilized the gold tone bezel, all those details would have probably got lost in the details there. Here, though, this is beautiful because on this bezel, this is another testament to the fit and finishing techniques. The mirror polishing gives way to that brushed finish or that industrial finish in a laser start and stop design. There's no bleed over. If you go out at retail, I can guarantee you, even at $129, you go look at some watches and you're going to see some bleed over. It looks unrefined, unfinished. We are finishing these watches, all watches, by the way. Doesn't matter if they're $129 or well over $1,000 with tons of diamonds, which we actually have coming up later tonight. Same materials. I mean, obviously no diamonds. Same materials, premium stainless steel, same finishing techniques. This is the best of the best right here at a crazy holiday price.
Silver tone, gold tone will go first.
Okay.
I know Justin's going to show off the two-tone as well. A couple of very quick shout-outs, and I think Ryan is going to get on the watch connection in just a minute and do some chatting with you. But I do want to say hi to Paul, who he's going to be purchasing his second 63mm today, so he must have loved that Octane that we showed everyone. Cool. Ed, well, he's off doing something else. I guess Boston's playing or something like that. Mark would like more mid-size in the future, like a mid-size Bolt. Ken Stanger is a lover of the Sub-Aqua 3s. Cool. And Richard cannot believe all the new watches over the next 3 days. It's so true. He already got the SAS in the Chicago colors and is trying to decide what color to get on the Sand 3. Any Sub-Aqua is awesome. We will be giving you shout-outs as we go. Oh, Jesse! Hi there! Jesse says he wants us to sell him a watch. Okay. He got 2 of the Combat Seals. Well, we did sell your watch. He owns the Combat, and the Iridescent. Well, you know that Maori coming in. The Maori Shark debuts in 40 minutes.
Isn't that awesome? Look at that.
40
brand new
minutes. And you can only buy it here at Evine right now. Is the price active yet? It is. Go for it, guys. Go for it, because some of the colors are very limited.
They're going to sell
We'll
out
present
quickly.
it at the top. There's the item number, 651340. And oh, by the way, the Maori shark, packaged in an 8-slot dive case for under $200.
I know, right? Holidays right there.
Crazy.
Right?
Abalone has become one of the hottest selling dials that we offer.
It's one of the most highly sought after materials we have right now. And you're going to notice it's electric, it's neon. It's like the most premium type of mother of pearl you can get into, and it works. With every single color execution that you see here, it really upgrades that to the next level.
Sarah is loving the black Poseidon and the Pro Diver Combat. Yay, Sarah. All right, so this will be gone before we even have a chance to get to it, likely. This is a numbered limited edition of 300 people in the world that will own this reserve 63mm Grande Octane in the Combat Edition. It features a Salida SW200, by the way. For that price, amazing. Fewer than 4 dozen remain in the entire numbered limited edition collection. And this is coming up next hour, Ken. If you love your Sub-Aqua Nova 3s, this is a brand new execution. I would frankly call this the Shark Edition with the gray straps. I love the Sub-Aqua logo all over the dial on this, gold tone or rose tone. Wow. Did you see that, Ryan? That comes in an 8-slot dive case valued at $73. 8-slot dive case. That's incredible. So before we get to all of that, we're going to be sharing with you the ultimate. Remember, this first segment that we're offering is your gift segment. Then we're going to break it down with both of the guys out here and show you some of your favorites. But this particular gift segment wouldn't be a gift segment without this watch. And these are the final quantities for the holiday season. It's the only Lupa in the show. I haven't seen a lot of new Lupas lately, have you?
No, I haven't actually.
So there's your Lupa. Abalone dial. You just have to choose if you want the baby Lupa for her, the grand Lupa for him, and then what is your preference in terms of color. If you choose the gold tone, that red abalone is going to have a I would say much more of a pink red flare. If you choose the gunmetal, you're going to get a little bit more of a deeper, rich red flare in that abalone. And if you choose the stainless steel version, you're going to get that classic green, blue abalone. And if you get them tonight, they are 67% off. Ryan, it looks like the gold tone in the women's, now limited to 4 dozen remaining, so I'm going to grab that one first.
Okay, very good. So we have a lot of different collections at Invicta. In fact, over 30 different active collections. And so we have some of our top collections out there, which include the Pro Diver, they include the Russian Diver, the Sub-Aqua, the Bolt, but also a very, very important piece to Invicta is the Lupa collection, and a lot of us consider the Lupa to be the most important collection that we've ever created in our 181 years of existence at the company. And what it was in fact, our first patent that we had for the timepiece. And it has this tonneau-shaped case, a little bit of that rounded rectangular case, has this domed crystal, which is that signature element for each and every one of the timepieces. And then, too, is just the beautiful design, just easily recognizable out there. Now, this one has the gold tone variation. As you'll see, everything is gold tone on this watch, even when it comes to the clasp. You see on the inside the beautiful contrast of the abalone shell, which we've dyed to have a little bit more of that pink, that fuchsia type of look on the inside. Then the gunmetal, love that version too, with the red that you get. 2 different sizes. I mean, everybody can play when it comes to the Lupa.
Look at that. And then if you want to go more classic, I'll pull in the classic for you. Now, in this particular style, I would stay in your lane. I think that the baby Lupa is more suited to a woman's wrist. I think the grand Lupa is more suited to a gentleman's wrist. Guys, I would not go baby Lupa. I don't think that bracelet's going to work on you. But for the ladies that do have a much larger wrist, you could perhaps step into the grand.
Yeah, I mean, it just all comes down to what makes you happy, and that's why we have so many different options for the timepieces out there. And you know what? Let me just do this, because, in fact, it's a little bit more, actually, to just simply correct. The bracelet is actually pretty generous when it comes to the baby Lupa.
I meant in terms of width. I don't think the men are going to like a bracelet that thin.
Yeah.
But that's personal preference.
It's a 16 millimeter as opposed to 26 millimeters. So there's about a half-inch difference when it comes to, as Kendi was mentioning, just the design of the strap.
I was thinking this way the men wouldn't like it.
Got it.
But, you know,
Teach their own.
Right?
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely. I'm loving the gunmetal. We don't get a lot of opportunities to purchase gunmetal watches, and if you choose the gunmetal, it's going to be a much deeper, richer red color in that gunmetal. A couple more shout-outs for everybody. I'm so glad that so many of you found our Watch Connection Facebook page, brand new Facebook page. Michael from Invictaholics got the Maori shark. Woohoo! He says super cool watch. That's coming up in just a little bit. Oh, Jesse's loving the Zeus. And, Justin, Ron wants to see you in that other leather jacket again.
I felt good in that jacket.
Maybe we'll have to ask Justin to model in the leather jacket show.
All my things
What do you think?
And it felt good.
I think we do it. These particular pieces are the pieces that I gift when I gift an Invicta watch. I would say 90% of the timepieces that I gift for men and women are the Lupas, just because they're so uniquely Invicta.
Well, that's it. We have a patent on this. Nobody else can create this design that we have out there. And I have Lupas in my collection, and majority of collectors do have a Lupa in there too. And if you don't, tonight is a great night to be able to add that first one with this bracelet variations.
These are the final quantities for the holiday season. That's really, really important to note. So on a $9.83 value pay, take advantage of it. Uh-oh. Dun, 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 dun. The Maori Sharks are in the house, and the today's top value price is active. You need to get on it instantly if you want it. Now, the purple one that I've been wearing and posting and wearing and posting is the runaway hit. That's bottom right-hand corner. If you want it, it's going to go quick. The most limited is the black. That's upper right. We also have the gold tone and the silver tone. And this is what I'm not understanding. This comes... Excuse me.
Man, what are you and Ryan doing
Justin's turn now.
It comes in a $73 8-slot dive case for that price. So, though today's top value is loose, go get them, guys. I guess we just opened the vault.
Is that what we did?
I don't know. Sure sounded like it. Well, it has been almost 3.5 years since we last offered a reserve level Venom on a bracelet at 1,000 meters water resistant that comes in with an interchangeable system that allows you to take it off that bracelet onto a silicone strap. We've priced this to sell out today, and you choose whether you prefer the black dial, the blue dial, or the silver tone dial. We have fewer than 100 of each of them available, and on a value pay of $50. WOW, wow. And this was your pick in the preview, right?
Yes, this definitely was. And so what it is, it's the Venom out there. It's part of the Sub-Aqua, technically, collection. It's one of the series within it. And it is a staple design from us at Invicta. Big and bold at 52 millimeters in the case diameter, 1,000 meters of water resistance. But the difference is, what you haven't seen in 3 years is the opportunity to change out from a bracelet to a strap with this brilliant system out there to be able to give you 2 different looks, 2 different weights, and 2 different feels on the wrist with the Venom.
All right, guys, choose your dial. Check out of your shopping carts. It is the one and the only Venom of the night. And it's about as classic as it gets. And you just changed this out as we were just chatting.
Yeah,
it's that easy, right?
Yeah, and I'll show you how to do that. I mean, we're talking about the original Venom. That's a Generation 1. So we're talking over 3,000 feet of water resistance. That alone is ridiculous. Then we're going to talk probably at length about the movement. That's at Grande MasterTech caliber 8040, and this is everything. This is reserve level quality with a system that is extremely cool. Now, remember back in the day, the Ocean Quest sets would have started with the Sub-Aqua Noma 3 design, and then quickly after that, on the heels of the success of that, the Venom came out. You had no chance of getting one of these. That's how popular these were, and now it's back. It is back for the first time. Time to steal this watch. Look at that. It's almost an $1,100 watch for a $50 value pay. Let me show you how this works. It will come with a tool, okay?
Nice.
You're going to notice you have a section right here. All you do is press this in. So when I press this in, you're going to watch the other side's going to pop out.
Okay.
It's real easy. Except when you're on TV, just like that.
When you're trying to do it upside down and
See how
backwards,
it popped out just a little bit, and then it allows you to remove that pin. It's that simple.
Oh, that's easy. Okay.
See this? And then this comes off, and then all you simply do is put the bracelet back on.
Nice.
Slide that pin back through, and you're going to hear it snap into place, and you're good. It's that simple.
Nice.
Is that cool? So once again, the tool, use the end. On the end of the tool right here, you have a little section. You just push that in, and it pops the other end out. Very simple. Pull the pin out, just like that. You can remove, it's very, I mean, this is a very sturdy system, and of course you need a system like this when you're talking a watch that is engineered like this. Let me spin this around.
You know, and this is
Here's the
fantastic
pin.
because a lot of times you have to decide. You have to make a choice. If you want that on a bracelet or if you want it on a strap, and yet you want both because maybe on a bracelet
like
that's
that.
what you wear out and about. But when you're, you know, skiing with the kids or jet skiing with the kids or running around the ball diamond with the kids, maybe you're a coach. Maybe that bracelet is a little too much weight to carry around. Then you put it on the strap, or frankly, even if you're diving, you probably don't want to wear it on the bracelet. It gets to be a little heavy unless you want to go down the water.
There's so many
this way.
things you can do with this watch. I think it's also, if you're a collector, it's a must-have. The interchangeable system, just the fact that you have one of the very rare Venoms that has that capability, I think is what's very exciting. I had no idea that we were going to be anywhere near $299 on this because of the level of complexity that you get into. $299 already, bracelet execution, full version on the bracelet. You have the upgraded Swiss-made movement on the inside. It's built to the traditional over 3,000 feet of water resistance. You're doing great at $50, right, for the value pay. But now you have that system that allows you to, within seconds still, even though it's more of an upgraded system, it allows you to swap out from that bracelet to the strap.
I do have a Venom. I have a couple different Venoms in my collection, but I do have an interchangeable system.
You do? Okay.
Yes, and it's a little bit older, but it has a polyurethane strap as opposed to what we now have with the silicone strap that goes along with the watch. Both variations, whether you're going with the bracelet, such as I have, or if you're going to go over to that silicone strap, are extremely comfortable. And what I love about this design is when I just show you the side of my wrist here, I have a smaller wrist size, but look at how the lugs. What size is your wrist? My wrist size is 6 3/4.
Okay.
So, and you can see how the lugs drop along each side of my wrist here. And even if I go up a little bit higher to like a bigger wrist size, still delivers a very exceptional comfort fit that goes along with the watch. And even you'll see the bracelet is quite generous, about up to an 8 1/4, 8 1/2 inch wrist size.
On a smaller wrist, here's my general rule. I think that if the lugs go past the width of your wrist, it's going to be a little too sloshy on you. So this one goes past my wrist measurement a little bit. Doesn't mean you can't wear it. It just means it's going to play on your wrist a little bit more. So I think if your wrist is over 6 1/2 inches, you can pull this off. If it's 6 inches like mine, I think it's still going to be a little too, it's not going to quite fit on my wrist the way it should on the bracelet. Now, that might be a different story once you put it on the silicone. I want to remind you of a few things. This is a short show. We only have an hour and a half left. The Maori shark is already starting to sell out in the purple.
I get it. Yeah.
So you've got to get it really quickly. We have holiday return privileges. So if you're buying a piece like a Venom and you love it, ladies, and you love looking at it on Justin and Ryan, but you're not quite sure if he's going to love it, we have holiday return privileges through the end of January. So it's risk-free shopping. Then a reminder, because this is $299 and the today's top value is $199. If you need to have both but can't afford the 6-month value pays, remember, any order that you place that's over $499 qualifies for 12-month financing on the Evine card. So if you don't have an Evine card, call and apply for one. If you're approved for the Evine card, you can use it tonight. And as long as you make those minimum monthly payments over the next 12 months, they, like value pay, will be interest-free payments. But you have to make those payments and pay off the order in full in a year to make sure that they're actually interest-free. So you keep going back and forth and back and forth. Do you guys have a preference of bracelet or strap on a Venom?
Well, at this point, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can get them whatever
both,
you want.
You know what? So it covers all bases. Maybe you're wearing the bracelet and you're like, you know what? Maybe it's just a little too heavy for what I'm going to be doing. Maybe I am going diving and I want to put it on the strap. You go ahead and do that. Not a problem. Now, to get to that extreme depth, you do have that triple screw down system. So both the function pushers and the crown will screw down into the case to allow you to get to that depth. Now, this is also that movement that we were talking about. Love this movement, by the way. This is that Master Tech Caliber 8040N, giving you that snapback retrograde day of the week. Right up here, how that works is it works its way over to Saturday, then snaps back to Sunday. Down here, you have a true big day complication. Here's what's really cool with that. Looks cool, but it's also utilizing 2 discs working in unison. It's not just the date wheel that's running around the outer track. Now, here you're going to notice, too, huge globe luminous markers. This is where it started. This Sub-Aqua Venom, whenever you see this in any other one of our styles, it's because of this style. So that glows very bright during low light situations on this build. Everything high quality on this, guys. $50 on a value pay gets this watch home. And think about the history. Sub-Aqua series, one of the longest running, one of the most exciting series that we have. You know, we split off into kind of 2 directions, the Sub-Aqua specialty design and the Sub-Aqua Venom, creating the deepest depth rating we've ever produced. This is it right here. We're already counting this down, 200 left. If you are, I know we have more than 200 watch collectors watching right now. Serious danger of this selling out. Let me show you how this works just one more time real quick.
And keep in mind, over 3.5 years since we've seen this interchangeable system. What if you've got wait another 3.5 years?
Yeah.
So it's important to note, if you're new with us, that we do not regularly stock these items.
Right.
When we say we haven't seen it in 3.5 years, it's a fact that it could take a very long time to get these back in.
So all I did is I pushed the pin back in right here.
Okay.
Very simple. I'm going to spin this around. What you're going to notice on the other side, you have a spot where the tool will fit right into. You press that and it pops the other side out. So I'm going to show you that so you can see that happen right here. So if you press this, watch this, it just pops right out, and then it has a little ridge which you can easily grab with your fingernail. Look at that. Pulls it right. I mean, look at this, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about solid construction for this price.
Guys, we have a night packed, jam-packed full of new. The Maori Shark, a brand new Sub 3. A brand new lowest price ever on a Sandblast, especially Sub-Aqua. A brand new Poseidon in 4 new color executions. Guys, you can't go anywhere. You got to stick with us. We're breaking it down right now with both Ryan Johnson and Justin Zimmer. Okay, Ryan, how excited are you about this Poseidon?
Super, super excited out there. Brilliant design that goes along, latest really within the Sub-Aqua collection that we have, this particular series. 4 different color variations. Unbelievable price getting in tonight at the $199.99.
Love that. I'm liking the Gunmetal Red, to be honest with you.
Look at this studio. We should change this to Studio I.
I agree.
Well, that's cool. Oh, and look what Jeff, what are you wearing, buddy?
That's One Glove Jeff.
One Glove Jeff. Wave to everybody. Say hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Now, are you wearing a Mark jacket, too, that's coming up?
It is.
See, if you love the vibe that you're getting from these great jackets, Todd Newton is going to be out 1 a.m. Eastern tonight. Nice modeling job.
See that?
To share with you this brand. Ooh,
Oh, look
Jeff.
at that. Did you see this? Look at this variation.
Models.
It's a double zipper.
Ryan's got a powder skirt on.
You like that?
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Powder skirting it. Sweet.
Don't even know what that means, but whatever.
It's so you don't get snow
powder
on
when
your,
you're
on your
skiing
butt.
or
A powder skirt.
powder skirt.
When you fall.
Yeah. Yeah, different kind of skirt.
If I fall.
If you fall.
If I
That's
fall.
right, buddy.
All right, guys. This Grand Octane is the one and the only combat version. It is so limited that your number will be on the back. You will have one of 300 pieces that were made for the world. We have already, as a network, sold over 200 of them. We now are down to 4 dozen, and that's all we will have forever. And it's the only Salida movement of the night in my block of time. So if you're looking for mega combat, you guys going to arm wrestle over this one? Because it's too big for me.
You want to? We could.
That might be fun.
I'll just take
We'll
it.
wait for the cruise. We'll wait for the cruise.
All right.
On
Just
the
gives me
cruise,
time to work out.
We'll do some arm
just take
wrestling. This is limited to 4 dozen available only tonight.
Wow,
and
look at that with a jacket.
it's
Looks
one
good.
of a couple combats. We had that the combat seal in a combat a little bit earlier. Oh man, does that look good?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
should wear leather more often, Justin.
Just
Just saying.
Probably.
oh no,
Boy, did I actually render you speechless?
No.
That's a first.
I almost said something and I stopped myself because I didn't know how it would go over.
That was probably smart.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So wearability is the most important thing, I think, to talk about with a watch of this size and of this stature, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's the full-size variation. There's only one watch that's a little bit larger than this, and that's the Sea Hunter. But you know what? We're only arguing about like a couple of millimeters, something like that. But this is still a watch that's extremely wearable. But I'm not going to say this is for the guy wearing the classic Pro Diver, right? I mean, the guy that's watching right now, he's looking for this watch. He's falling in love with it because he knows what it is. It's massive. It's over-engineered. It's oversized. It's reserve-level quality, which means that's taking the art and engineering right to the edge of what's possible. Plus, you have the premium movement on the inside here as well. I mean, this is really a collector's piece. So here you have that Salida. It's a 26-jewel masterpiece on the inside. So that's a machine operating at 28,800 vibrations per hour. That is Swiss precision on the inside. And it's a numbered limited edition, so only 299 other people in the entire world will ever get this home and put it on their wrist. It's also built to true professional dive specifications, so you can take this anywhere, but ultimately when Ryan and I are talking about water resistance, just keep in mind it's an upgraded quality to keep the water out of the case. So it's an upgraded structural integrity. It's how the watch is actually assembled and put together. It's a steal tonight.
And Ryan, what do you hear from our customers in terms of these larger timepieces? I hear that they even want more of them.
Well, that's it. And we're trying to create more and more of these timepieces. And those who are getting the watch, they know it's a larger timepiece. Like Justin mentioned, it's not a 40mm Pro Diver. But I just saw on the screen, and I see this for, I think, almost every single Grande Octane that we have. Yeah. It's a customer choice. So it's over a 4-star rating out there. Customers know what they're getting into. We still build the watch with the aesthetics that go in, and then also just with the extreme comfort or the ergonomic correctness of the timepiece for you.
All right, guys, if you want it, it is the only Grande Octane that I have in the next hour and 20 minutes. It is one of the very few combats that we have available for you, and it is a very tight numbered limited edition, and we have the very final few. A lot of you are already digging on the Sub-Aqua Noma 3. 2 rare opportunities tonight in terms of 8-slot dive cases. I have not seen an 8-slot dive case in forever. This comes in a $73 8-slot dive case. Rose gold or the yellow gold, kind of in that shark edition, which I dig in. Guys, the countdown's on. About 15 minutes to the Maori Shark worldwide launch. But first, check this out. So Justin saw this watch coming out on the peg.
Oh, shoot. I should have kept my jacket on
and
for this
he had
one.
to shred his leather jacket off because he thought this was so sizzling hot.
It's too hot.
It's too hot. Got to take care of that menopause.
Hot.
So,
sweating in here.
We have the lowest price ever, only for this show. And guys, our show is an hour and 15 minutes left, right? The lowest price ever on the only hydroplated Akula ever made. And it's really cool. This is one that Rico was going to go for, one of our customers.
Oh, very cool.
Because it's the first time we've ever seen the hydroplating done. It's almost like a camo animal print, kind of like a camo feel in terms of the coloration with that green in that leopard design. I have about 150 of each. It is 77% off. You can choose either the silver tone findings or the gold tone findings. At this point, on your mark, get set, go. We're already down to fewer than 100 in the silver tone. So, Ryan, why don't we first start off in talking about this new Akula design, because it's completely unlike the original Akula.
Well, that's it. And so with the Akula, we've had different variations before. This variation came out in 2017. And so what it is, it's a little bit more of a skinnier profile when it comes to the watch. Only 15 millimeters thin. That's 5/8 of an inch rising up from the wrist. But we still hold it to that 52 millimeters for the case diameter, just over 2 inches. And then the bracelet variation, you get a lot of the heft. You have the design. When you look at just from the side, you can see the center links, how they just pop up from the rest of the bracelet. We include in the upgraded scissor-style deployant closure that's a part of the watch. And then, too, we have the element that goes along the side over here that has Invicta as a part of it. So it's really just a unique design out there. And I have to just say, I've had multiple of these watches on my wrist. We first came out with the leather straps, and I like those. But I think the bracelet is actually even more comfortable when it comes to this watch.
That is the version, too, with the helium release valve, too.
Yes,
on that, on the 9 o'clock. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're getting into a watch that's this sophisticated, I'd go gold tone. I mean, that's
the gold
dressing this up.
tone is going to sell out first. So I don't know how you guys feel about this. I know we're calling it kind of that leopard print design, but I think it has a very camo vibe. What do you think?
It does, absolutely. Yeah. But, you know, like Ryan was talking about with the Akula design, by far the best way to get into, I mean, it's a very sophisticated design by itself. It's a Russian diver Akula, so it has a lot of history attached to it once again. But now to get into hydroplating, which is an extremely expensive and time-consuming process, it all starts with a kind of a prep layer, and then we get into the hydroplating, which, by the way, makes this a one-of-a-kind design. So no two designs will be exactly the same because of the way that that process is done. And then after that, it goes through a hardening layer that gives you that quality that you come to expect from Invicta. Keep in mind, we talked about a automatic helium release valve. This watch is rated, by the way, to 1,000 feet of water resistance on this piece. So that is built to beyond to professional dive specifications. So to get into a watch, it's a $650 watch. For $149.99 is ridiculous. Look at the value pay on this.
Well, actually, you get into it. Yeah, you don't get into it for $150. You get into it for $25.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because you invest that $25, excuse my reach right there, on your major credit card. You start wearing it.
Look at that.
On us for 6 months as you pay it off interest-free. And if you put it under the tree for him, and you're not quite sure if he's going to dig this hydroplating vibe or not in the Akula, guess what? You have through end of January return privileges. The gold will be gone first. How durable is the hydroplating?
I mean, it's just like anything else that you're going to see, like with black plating or like the new like Blue Label, things like that. It's giving you the same kind of hardness. It goes through that layer at the end. Basically, the big differences on these with the gold tone and the silver, just the design aspects here. You see everything that's done in gold here will be done in silver on the other one. Then that outer track on the dial and all the kind of the work that's been done on the hands and hour markers and things like that. Maybe because this is going to be a one-and-done production, by the way, in my opinion. Yeah. Grab them both if you really want to get into a historic timepiece, one that will not be made again. This is it right here. Grab the gold, grab the silver, put it in your case, and have a piece of history.
It might end up being the only hydroplated Akula ever built, right?
It could be. It's the only one that we have currently, and it's the only time we've ever done this particular hydroplating with this particular design. So, and if you have, let's just say you have 5 watches in your collection, you have a dozen, you have 5 dozen, or you have 100 or hundreds of timepieces from Invicta, which our collectors do, when you look into those dive cases or however you store your watches, this one will always stand out from the rest. And that's what is a special opportunity for you to get in tonight, to the hydroplated version of the Akula with this camouflage, with this cheetah print, however you want to.
Cheetah?
However you want to design.
Cheetah, leopard, I don't know. I don't know the difference between spots. Do you guys?
I am not a spot expert.
I am not either. So I want to show this to the ladies because we chicks.
That's all I got to say about that.
We dig animal print. And because of the low profile of this, it is a piece that even with my 6-inch wrist, I can wear.
There you go.
I can rock it. With this leather jacket, are you kidding me? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. It's a heavy watch. It's just not as bulky as a lot of those 52-millimeter timepieces are. Do you see how slim that is? This leather jacket actually can go up and over it. So even though it is bold, even though it's got some great weight to it, it is a little bit more of a cross because most animal prints are done on a tan background, which is the color of the skin of an animal, right? This is not the color of the skin of an animal. So it really is a cross design between a camouflage and that. Dave, maybe you got to Google it for us. Is this a leopard? Or is this a cheetah? Cheetah or leopard? Leopard or cheetah? I don't know that it matters. It's just cool.
It is extremely cool.
Yeah.
You know, to Ryan's point, it's unique. you know, as collectors, you want those unique pieces, right? I mean, you want those pieces that not a lot of people can get into. This is one of those watches. Now, you also have that Swiss Parts variation of the Ronda Extra Tech Caliber Z60 on the inside. So it is a chronograph, so you can track elapsed time. You also have your day-date complication. And I love these dials because it's down in that brown design. Keep in mind, one of the most popular dials we've done is like a brown mother of pearl. This is very similar because it has a huge sunray pattern that's been done to this. And then those huge glow luminous markers, you can see porting that over from that Venom that we were showing you earlier. Glows very bright during low light situations. But look at the finishing. Look at the trim work around the sub-dials. That's done in the gold tone. That is mirror polished. Every aspect on this piece is done with a finishing technique so that as you move this watch around, as you're wearing this, every design aspect comes to the forefront and you can really see the design shine.
So this price has been reduced only for power play. So when Todd Newton comes out here in an hour and 10 minutes, the price goes up, and it goes up a lot. As Justin said, this is almost a $700 timepiece.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
We're going to get home to you for $25. Take advantage of the 12-month financing on the Evine card if you're spending more than $499. Strap yourself in and get ready for the ride of a lifetime, because the Maori could sell out next hour in its debut. It is open for purchase right now at the today's top value price. You're welcome to go. Even though we brought a lot of the burgundy in, it is leading the way. So we have the burgundy, the black, the silver tone, or the gold tone. We've got like a lot of great stories to tell you about it. This is another watch that could in fact be a one and done design. So open heart. Great automatic movement on that. You can get a head start if you would like to. That's in 10 minutes. But we also have a new Poseidon. We also have a brand new Sub 3 next hour. So as we get closer and closer to the holidays, guys, we're breaking out a tremendous amount of new items. And during our breakdown session in Invicta Power Play, every Sunday is where you're going to want to meet us. And that's going to be 8 to 10 Eastern? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
8 to 10 Eastern on every Sunday. Kind of fun.
That's right. Anchored show. It's always fun to be in, and we appreciate you being a part of the show here tonight. So, yeah, as I mentioned before, totally unique. And if you're just looking at your entire watch collection, some of the watches will kind of have that similar vibe to it, but not this cool. It'll be totally different. Love the hydroplating we've done. And then Justin did mention too, it's that brown dial referred to as that more tobacco color because it radiates just a little bit of a lighter brown inside of this timepiece here. So definitely something cool. Absolutely something unique within your collection.
All right, guys, we have an item that is a mid-show surprise. You guys ready? This is going to be available for fewer than 200 people, and we're about to blow the roof off the joint. None of us even hinted about this next watch we're going to bring out.
Yeah, it'll be gone in minutes.
Mid-show surprise. Now, if you missed the 52mm Pro Diver Combat seal at the top of the show, we are limited to only a few dozen of each, and that is it. Black, silver tone with the blue, iridescent or gold tone with the blue, all within sellout zone, and they'll be delivered to you in a one-slot dive case at a great price. Also, did you see this? Brand new, lowest price ever on the Abalone Bolt. All gold tone is your favorite. We have from left to right, silver tone, gold tone black, gold tone, or two-tone gold tone. I know. Check it out online. All right, we have the surprise of the show, and leave it to One Glove Jeff. It's coming in hot on the Jeff card.
The Jeff camp.
Don't trip, Jeff. All right, so Jeff is bringing us a timepiece that none of us knew was going to be in the show. Every once in a while, our crew surprises us with show surprises. And this is perhaps the most rare item of the night. Because how often do we get to see Sub-Aqua Noma 2s?
Not often.
Yeah, not very often.
Rare. It is the least produced Sub-Aqua watch of all time. Number 2 in the series. And today, not only do we have it, but I have 100 in the gold tone. I have 70 in the silver tone. And you, only those of you watching right now, can get, you guys, I believe this is the lowest price on any Sub-Aqua Noma 2 ever presented. And it's a bracelet version.
Full everything.
And it's 300 meters water resistant. And it features a numbered limited edition with an abalone dial. Who decided on this price?
Well, I asked you know, in our meeting before the show, I said, what's happening here? What happened with this price? I mean, we're talking $142.99 for Sub-Aqua Noma 2 Sophistication. Look at the case, just the case back on this watch has more detail to it, is beautifully designed than any watch anywhere near $142. That's the Sub-Aqua Dragon logo, deeply machined into the case back. You can see it's the Noma 2. It's a screwed down case back. Ryan grabbed the gold tone, those two choices, gold tone, silver tone. I would say right now, grab both of these. Do we ever think that we could get into a sophisticated Sub-Aqua Noma 2 for $23.83? I mean, this is it.
How many number limited editions have we even seen in a Sub-Aqua Noma 2, right?
Well, the thing is, it's rare to just see a Sub-Aqua Noma 2, but then we put the cap on it.
Yeah.
At 2,000 of these will ever be made. That's if we make all of them. So 300 meters of water resistance, Sub-Aqua meaning underwater. We have the two different rider tabs here indicating it's a second generation. Beautiful natural color abalone shell that we've placed inside of this watch along with the Grande 5030D, which will tell you your time, your perpetual seconds, your date, and that part of the chronograph, 30-minute timer, but then this is your 12-hour totalizer down at the bottom of the dial for you. Screw down function pushers, as you'll see at the top of the screen. Screw down crown, that's a part of the watch. But you know, we have a lot of collectors. When they get into a certain collection, they want to get a variety of the watches. We have 6 different generations that are made available to the public right now. This is the most rarely seen out there alongside of the Sub-Aqua Noma 4. So if you want to get in to the gold tone that I have or the silver tone, or maybe you just want both tonight, I mean, this is an unbelievable price to be able to get into a coveted timepiece that we make, but we just don't see many of.
It's a big surprise for sure tonight. You know, and to get into that abalone dial, that's the most premium type of mother of pearl you can get into. Once again, it's electric, it's neon, it's beautiful. But then the history, once again, you know, following on the heels of the Sub-Aqua Noma 1, it's the first Sub-Aqua to get a locking crown guard system. And it really didn't share anything from the Sub 1 to the Sub 2. I mean, everything was completely redesigned on this build, and still to this day, one of the most popular. It's just one of the least produced, so it's one of the most highly sought after variations. So when I showed up today and I saw this price, man, it's a surprise for sure.
Well, for a typical Sub 2, it would be fantastic on a silicone strap. But think about the upgrades, the abalone, the number limited edition, the bracelet, particularly the gold-plated version, which, by the way, looks beautiful with my Michael Valatutti emeralds. Michael Valatutti is going to be here next weekend with all emerald shows and nothing but emerald. The perfect stone for the holidays. So you're going to see a lot of us wearing emerald pieces. And the reason I wore it was because the way that it plays off of so many of the abalone pieces. When you look into this abalone, think about the gems it will work with. It'll work with your iolites, your sapphires, your tanzanites, your emeralds, your chrome diopsides, and so much more. The Sub 2 in the full size, along with the Sub-Aqua Noma 1, is the most wearable on a smaller wrist. So you've got lugs that don't come out as far as the Sub 3, Sub 4, or Sub 5. It's still a thick watch. It's still a very hardy watch. It's still a weighty watch. But for the ladies that love a larger watch like that and want a piece that is truly wearable for a smaller wrist, and again, my wrist is 6 inches, so I wear 6.5 to 7 inch bracelets sometime, I would absolutely wear this day in and day out. Now, on a value pay, this is on your wrist in a week for $33.33. This is only available. No, wait, did I have the value pay right? I did not have the value pay right. I'm on the wrong card. What's the value pay on this?
$23.83?
$23.83. Oh my God. $23.
Can you believe that?
83 cents.
No, I mean, it's a sophisticated
so weird.
watch. It's an extremely sophisticated timepiece. It has the history to it. I'm sorry.
4 dozen silver tone.
4 dozen in the silver tone, so that's going to be completely gone. I mean, I think the true test, you know, we started by just showing the case back. That's the test. You're going to notice on this side, your number will be printed on the outer portion of that case back. But whenever you get in, look at the case back. Look at how deep the machining is. When you get into something like this, you know, even if it's not Invicta, if you find something like this, you know that the watch manufacturer has taken great care to go over all the little details and make sure that they're done perfectly. That's what this watch is all about. Sub-Aqua series. By the way, anytime you hear Sub-Aqua, you know that you want to get it on your wrist. I mean, we showed you the Venom, Sub-Aqua Venom, the Sub-Aqua Specialties, all of these different executions over the years. The Poseidon, right? These are very big styles. Whenever you see Sub-Aqua and a price anywhere near this, it's time to grab these.
Well, and you know, it's really likely that in the next 2 months, we might not see another Sub-Aqua number 2. I'm trying to rack my brain to think of the last time I saw Sub-Aqua number 2.
It's been a long
I'll bet
time.
it was 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, these don't come along very often. And let me tell you, they don't come along at this price. So you've been holding out. You want to add to your Sub-Aqua Noma series right here. Now's the night to do it. Either the gold tone or the silver tone. And we even talked about One Glove Jeff. He's amassed over the years. He's been at the network for 15, 16 years. He's amassed an Invicta collection. And I remember 2 years ago, you got that Sub-Aqua Noma 2, and you wear that watch and also your Pro Diver Reserve 7750 on your wrist. Those are your 2 go-to watches. So, guy who's around watches all the time, this is one of his go-tos.
Guys, I don't know when you will see another, there's Jeff, another Sub-Aqua number 2. It won't be this one at this price. I will tell you that. So if you'd like it, 20 in the silver tone. We're racing toward 1 per state. Wow. I know, in the gold tone. This is a one and done price, guys. I swear. We don't know where it came from. It's a mid-show surprise. That's why it always pays to stay tuned.
Well, remember we said Sub-Aqua and grab it when you hear it.
Well, we have 1 more hour of Invicta Power Play, and we are going to kick this hour off with the Maori, which is already hugely popular. But we also have the #1 top-rated watch in Invicta's brand, the Specialty Sub-Aqua. But this one, Sandblast Finish. We have not seen that on the air in a very long time. It is back. And this will not make a presentation, because I have the final 20 forever. This is a Sub-Aqua Noma 6 in the Combat Edition. It is numbered to 300. It's a numbered limited edition to 300 pieces. We've sold 280. There are 20 left for the entire world. It also has that master calendar. 20 remain. That's it forever. Oh, well, we know how much you love the Poseidon. These 4 brand new color executions are outstanding, from the Gunmetal Red to the Gunmetal Gray to the Rose Tone Black to the Silver Tone Black. To be able to deliver that in an 8-slot dive case valued at $73 for under $200 is amazing. And here's another, what are we doing with these dive cases? I'm sorry, the Poseidon comes in a 1 slot. It's the Sub 3 that comes in an 8-slot dive case. Who is the warrior in the family? Who's the protector? Well, we have the Maori shark as the perfect gift. Well, perhaps one of the most highly anticipated today's top value launches ever. The Maori shark in an open heart automatic. And this is what puts me over the edge. I cannot believe that we are delivering this to you in the Christmas red 8-slot dive case valued at $73. This is the watch that features the powerful images of the Maori. This is Invicta's version of the Maori shark design. We have 4 color executions, and though we brought a lot of the purple out, it is already, we launched the price a little bit earlier last hour, it is already selling out.
Okay.
So whether you want the purple or the gold tone, the black, which is already, I believe, under 400 pieces.
Wow.
Yeah, under 400, or the silver tone, which is about 500 pieces. This particular piece is about more than owning a good-looking timepiece. It's a work of art that's actually has kind of historical ties, right?
Yeah, you know, we're talking about a culture here that really sharks play, you know, big in the traditions and storytelling, and they're actually like guardian spirits. And you're going to see a lot of like tattoos and designs and things like that. So that's what we've modeled this dial after. And you're going to notice, and we talk about details, by the way, it is in this watch.
Yeah.
When we talk about invincible in detail, it's this piece. So this watch itself could be part of that Empire collection, right? Because that's when we're taking the premium stainless steel and removing or carving out the details to give you these gorgeous designs. But when you look at this, look at the amount of time. We're going to talk about the details, but look at the finishing technique. So this one is done in that aubergine plating. It's next generation. It's very expensive. But now look how sections are removed and then polished. So the base level remains that industrial finish, but the raised components, what really allows it to pop is the mirror polishing that takes place. You see that one section right here? That's the shark's tail. That's a piece of the shark that spills over from the dial through the crystal onto the bezel of this piece. And then you're going to notice the crystal itself is sapphire, by the way. So sapphire front and back. So we're talking quality. Keep in mind, we should mention this real quick.
For $199 in an 8-slot dive case.
The case itself is almost a $75 dollar. It's like 73 and change for the value there. But you have two sapphire crystals on here, but you're going to notice how the dial work is done. The shark really pops. The shark is done in purple, but then look, surrounding it, like the ocean waves, is done in a different contrasting color, and you're going to see that throughout the watches on here. His eye is done with that crystal. This is next generation everything on here, and let's not forget, on the inside, a precision engineered mechanical automatic movement as well. So this is everything. Yeah. This is everything. Brand new.
This also features a strap that's completely done in a sea life theme and in a sea life motif. The Maori were the indigenous Polynesian people of New Zealand. Sharks played a huge role in not only their culture, but also their traditions. They wore these sharks, and they wore these incredible tattoos. They would typically tattoo from like the chest to the knee. They would wear them to signify if they were the protectors in the family, if they were the warriors in the family. And they all had different tattoos based on their status, based on their place in the family, sometimes based on their careers, what they did for a living, and still a very popular form of tattooing today, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, it's something that we dabbled with many years ago too, in our Technomarine line. We were talking with you. Remember, we actually did a Maori execution in Technomarine where we actually utilized some of the tattooing that takes place onto the dial. We made some in a diamond variation and some in a different variation. So we're actually kind of taking that inspiration, bringing it back into one of those styles that you have right here. So let's run through a little bit more of the design details on this one. So not only do you have the depth, right, with the machining that takes place, watch this. It's like the seabed, the seafloor. Do you see this right here? It's like the corals and everything that's growing from the bottom of the case up. And once again, that's completely mirror polished on here. Then you have all those sections that are removed. Here you have fins. These are fins from the shark that's actually coming from the dial and spilling out onto the bezel of the piece. You're going to see that down here. It's part of the body of the shark. Here you have another fin. And then, of course, back here as well, guys. I mean, then the outer track, the same detail. Do you see that? And then we get to the dial, and you have that same depth and dimension that is extremely, extremely cool. When you look at this watch, it's, you know, it's just like when we talk about some of our other really expensive designs. It feels like you went to a high-end watch manufacturer and you said, you know what, I have an idea. Can you make this watch for me? And they craft a one-of-one piece. That's what I feel like when I get into these watches, you know, the Empire designs with the carving, and that's what everybody says when people talk to them on the street.
Maybe you love the idea of this Maori tattoo, but you're not going there. This gives you the opportunity to wear that work of art. Now, the gold is gorgeous. The purple is the #1 winner. The black is very tone on tone, and I really want to dive into each of the executions. But before we do, there's your case back. Automatic movement, a little knowledge for the people that don't own one yet.
Yeah, so basically how this operates is this will power itself with you just wearing it. So to enjoy it, you just wear it. As you're wearing this, that rotor with the movement of your wrist will spin, which automatically, that's how it gets its name, it automatically automatically winds up the mainspring, and then it's the regulated release of all that stored energy, which is happening right here, that drives the mechanics of the build. You know, I was talking about the seafloor. Look at this. This is the back of the watch where that starts, where you can see kind of the coral growing out from the case back of that watch. Look at that.
I want to get through all the colors if we can, guys. So there's the gold. I want to show you the black, which is by far the most limited, and show you the silver tone, which is, I think, the most popular after the purple.
Okay.
The sharks in the Polynesian culture were known as guardian spirits. They were very powerful spirits. Now, if you choose the black, the shark is done in the purple. And then you have almost a bronze display in all of the accents around it. So the black is very alluring. It's really going to draw you in magnificently. And that black ionic plating melds into that sea life theme on the strap version beautifully. Let's really talk about the value here. This is art in a watch. Think about any other watch manufacturer that will create art like this. You then have an automatic movement, 2 sapphire crystals. It comes in an 8-slot guide case valued at $73
right here.
And we can get this home to you at a price of value pay, which is one of the 6 monthly interest-free payments that you'll make as you wear this, $33 a month. $33, and we ship this to you. And here's the silver tone. So the silver tone is the brightest. The silver tone from across the room says, I am a Maori shark.
Isn't that cool?
Inspired piece, right? So that's the piece that I think is the most demonstrable, as is the gold tone. I think the purple's definitely the coolest.
Absolutely. And if you follow me on social media, by the way, Being Zimmer, I guess I have to spell it, B-E-I-N-G-Z-I-M-M-E-R. This is the shot that I took. So if you saw this brand new watch on my Instagram page and you were wondering when it's launched, no, the silver. I did the silver variation.
Oh, I did the purple.
If you want to get that watch that you saw, it's that one right there. I'm not sure, which one did you do, Ryan? Invicta Ryan on Instagram?
He did a couple of them.
A couple of them?
Yeah.
So here you actually have that insert. This is how it ships to your home, but that's an 8-slot case. $73 and change, the case alone. Talk about the holidays. This is a collector's piece right here. It comes in a collector's case, impact resistant, water resistant, locking mechanisms. This is really cool. But now to get into this watch, everything is newly engineered. The case, the dial, the straps. Right? We've done some Dragon variations over the last year or so, but we've borrowed the same straps each time, actually from a S1 variation of a Yakuza build from many years ago. These are brand new engineered straps that have an extreme amount of detail to them as well. I mean, this is classic Invicta. This is what we are achieving. This is the amount of detail that we're putting into our watches. You're stealing this today for this price. This value pay is ridiculous.
And Ryan, are you on YouTube right now?
No, I'm over on Facebook.
On the Facebook.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So if you go to Watch Connection Facebook, Ryan's trying to answer as many questions as we can. Yes, Bob Cohen, we are here. We're just not broadcasting live, but we are looking at your notes, and Ryan's going to get to answering some of the questions for you. We're going to have Justin go over to the big monitor. And then I think are we going to have Ryan do some close-ups? Oh, we're just going to do the boom boom monitor on this one, right?
No, we're not calling it that anymore.
We're not? We're just calling it the giant monitor?
It's just the big screen.
We're going to the big screen. Fine, whatever. Then we'll go through all of them for everybody. Hello to Travis once again. Hello to Paul. He was loving that hydroplated Akula. Hi to Terry Ryan. Is there a Sub-Aqua specialty in a white Arctic build?
I think we had one before.
I don't know if there's an Arctic in that. And Ralph finally made it to 104 watches.
Ralph.
Got that lefty Nautilus on a bracelet combat.
Yeah, you did, Ralph. Good job.
Fantastic. Hello to Michael, who's loving the Venom Santa Don white. Just got the Venom in the blue as well. Lynn is loving the Lupa in the gold. And we're going to Justin Zimmer. Justin, watch out for the shark.
We're taking pictures. We're taking pictures over here. One Glove Jeff.
That boy.
He's an artist. Check this. I mean, this is what it's all about, folks. I love blowing it up on the big screen like this because you can really see the detail. Look at this shark right here. You can see his eye is done with the crystal on here, his fin, all the detail you can see. Nothing is drawn on. Nothing is painted on. This has the depth and dimension, the detail you've come to love from Invicta. And then the fins even coming out onto the bezel of the piece running around this design. Then you're going to notice the sea life that I was talking about right here. Look at this, like coral that's growing from the case back. It even is around the back of the watch and then growing up to the top on this build. Extremely cool. More of that kind of empire design motif running around the back of the watch. So even on the back of the watch, we've ensured that all the details are packed into this build. Mechanical automatic as well. Open heart, so it's the NH38A, by the way. So you have that open heart mechanical automatic giving you that gorgeous, gorgeous look and design. I love this. I mean, look at, so this is the tail of the shark. So this is the shark. The tail comes down here. One of his fins, I have no idea which one that's called. Maybe Ryan can Google that for me. Right there, but it spills out onto the other side. But when you get over here, you're going to notice the tail now comes down on this side as well. Look at this. I mean, this is an amount of detail you only wished your watch has.
So and that was the silver tone. Here's the gold.
Now we get into gold tone, and you can see the shark itself is done in the gold, but then you have that contrast once again, so you can really see the details pop on this watch. It's absolutely stunning.
I'm going to bring the black in. Maybe on this giant shot, we can see that
the black's a little bit more combat, but the dial's done in a particular way, so it really does pop.
Look at that.
See, so it's all done in black, but even here, but the sections that have kind of more of an industrial finish to them almost gives it kind of like an antique look that's been done, like these raised sections on the bill. But once again, you can see that shark, the head of the shark right there with the eye, right, with the crystal, and that is just surrounding this dial once again on this piece. Absolutely stunning.
Look at the artwork on the shark itself. When you think back to the Maori tattoos,
the tattoo designs,
you see all of that, a lot of triangles, a lot of geometrics. I'm going to go ahead and bring the purple in. The purple is the runaway hit of the show. And
we call it like aubergine, right?
Purple.
We're calling it purple. I feel like
order purple.
Eggplant,
aubergine, purple,
it's unique.
all the same thing.
It's unique.
Yeah. All right, so I think, are we going to go over to Ryan? All right, we're going to go over to Ryan and check out the purple shark.
Yes, so just I talked about a few different things here that I put up on the screen I think are really important about everything that you're getting with the watch tonight. So it's the crystal that's on both the front and the back of the watch. It's a sapphire crystal that goes ding, 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 ding when collectors hear the sapphire crystal. Sapphire is known for that scratch resistance that's going to protect this beautiful dial on the inside of the watch. This is the exclusive launch at Evine. We have a majority of the exclusive launches for the different Invicta models out there. You can get it first, and you can get it here, and you can get it just below right here for the value pay of $33.33 here tonight. This watch is so heavily detailed. Justin did a great job about talking about all the detail that goes along with this watch. And in fact, it was 1 year in making to be able to create this timepiece. Now we're also talking about the open heart complication, which is right here at this position. That bad design of an open heart that I just did, trying to show this design here.
That's perfect, though.
Yeah, thank you. I have to work on my hearts a little bit more. But this is also mechanical automatic movement. So what that means, no battery. You can simply wind up the watch. It's going to go, and just by simply moving your wrist with whatever you're doing during the course of the day is going to keep the watch wound up. And then, of course, Justin just did a great presentation on the Maori shark design that is not only on the inside of the dial, but carries to the outside of the case.
And even all the way down the strap on this, there's beautiful artwork. There's like sea life motif. Imagine being on the cruise. For those of you who are going to be going on the Invicta and Friends cruise with us in February, to me, this is your cruise watch. To me, this is the watch that you wear as you're heading to the Caribbean. It is, in fact, 100 meters water resistant. You can go on shore, swim all day long if you want to. It has those sapphire crystals, so you're not going to have to worry about them scratching. And if this is going under the tree for Christmas, this is coming in the red 8-slot dive case. This is a $73 value. What automatic, artistic sapphire crystal timepiece is going to come to you for about $130? Because that's in essence what you're paying. If you take into consideration this $73 8-slot dive case, and I love that it's red for Christmas.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
You know who's got to be loving this watch today? And we want to hear from you guys. Michael and his beautiful wife, Courtney, have got to be loving this because they spend their life building aquariums.
No one has called us.
We want to hear. Well, you know what? They're all on Watch Connection chatting. So I want to shout out to Dave, who got meteorite in both sizes and the purple shark. Jake, Want to say hey to Jake. Want to say hey to Sarah again. Want to say hey to Ron. Who else have we got? We got John Parkus out there watching today. We got a whole lot of people chatting on our new Watch Connection Facebook page. What is your favorite, Justin? Do you have a favorite?
That's tough. I love the silver. That's
Okay.
why I took an image of that and put it on my Instagram page. I love the silver. Dress it up with the gold tone. If you like combat executions, grab that black. And if you want to step out and be extremely unique, go with that next generation plating we're calling purple. We've only done that maybe a handful of times in some of our most popular styles. So very cool to get into any one of these. Here's that strap, though. Once again, custom. It's a custom design. So nothing is plain on an Invicta timepiece. That's what's really cool with Invicta. So even the strap itself has that sea life design that we were talking about. That's done on both of the straps here, completely heavily embossed into that. Then you get into that timepiece, guys, which is next generation. I mean, check out the designs on this piece. By the way, one of the most comfortable watches you're going to get into, because that strap's not only extremely detailed, that's silicone, so extremely light, extremely flexible, and extremely comfortable. Apparently, we're already counting down the black.
We are?
Almost 300 pieces remaining.
Wow. You guys, these are going to be gone maybe by morning. It's 57% off. I do want to remind you that if you get a few of these, if you're spending more than $4.99, you do qualify for that 12-month financing.
That's big.
So that's important to note, right? Ladies, you can wear this on the silicone strap. I am on the last notch with my 6-inch wrist, and it's really comfortable to wear. And what fun is it that we have some great kind of aqua pieces tonight. We've got this, and we've got the big Poseidon coming up, too.
Nice.
For everybody. So for those of you not familiar with the historical significance of this timepiece, in Polynesian culture, historically, there was no writing. So they actually used tattoo art to kind of express themselves and to identify and to kind of tell people who you were. So those tattoos would start at the waist, they'd go to the knee, and it would tell people who you were, how powerful you were, what your status was, what you did for a living. And today, worldwide, a lot of people are really digging the Maori tattoo tradition. And that's really what this is based on.
Yeah, that's the shark design that's been placed on the dial of this piece. But man, we put the rich time into this piece. When you start looking at the details once again, I mean, we could have just put the shark on the dial, but we didn't do that. Once again, we're Invicta, right? So we're taking it to the next level, where you have pieces of the fin, components of the fins coming out through the crystal, basically, onto the bezel of that piece. So we're not just making the artwork on the dial, it's spilling over onto the case design on this piece as well. And that's turning into one of the most artistic pieces of wearable art that you're going to get into anywhere near this price. And at $199.99, it's already a steal, but when you start to factor in that dive case, I mean, you are pushing $100 when you factor that in to get into a watch like this. And keep in mind, on the inside, you have that NH38A. A lot of times we talk about 35s. This is the 38, so it has that open heart complication, so you can see the heartbeat of the watch over there at the 9 o'clock position. So it's upgrade after upgrade. And one thing it should not have, sapphire crystal.
Right.
Sapphire crystals. Should not have 2 sapphire crystals on this watch. I mean, this is a very expensive material. Typically, it's on watches that are a lot more expensive than this design.
So that is the black. It is the most limited, with about 300 pieces available. The silver, we're racing toward 400 available. The purple is a very, very hot one. This is for the warrior. This is to celebrate the guy who perhaps, is the guardian spirit, who's the protector of the family. I love that. Someone who loves sharks, loves diving, or just loves the whole Maori tattoo theme. Also coming up, we have a brand new Poseidon execution. 4 different colors: the gunmetal black, the gunmetal red, the gunmetal silver tone, or that rose tone. At $199, this comes in a 1-slot dive case, and I cannot wait to get to that Poseidon story. And our brand new Sub-Aqua number 3, again, in an 8-slot dive case. We're getting everybody ready for gift giving this holiday season. We'll deliver it to you for $31.67. Well, we are heading into a deeper dive of some really cool Sub-Aquas. Take a look. Well, this is going to be fun. This Sub-Aqua specialty, or I should say Sub-Aqua specialties in general, are the #1 top-rated timepieces in Invicta's brand. They're very sophisticated in their builds, and they are never $154. This one is extra special for 2 reasons. One is it has a Sandblast finish, and I believe it's the only specialty Sub-Aqua that we have with a Sandblast finish. #2, it's on a leather strap. We almost never see specialty Sub-Aquas on leather straps. And if you would like this watch, $154.99 is a 65% discount. The silver tone 2 dozen. If you want the silver tone, it does come on that gray leather strap, and it has that magnificent blue mother of pearl dial, which we call platinum mother of pearl. 2 dozen. That'll be the first to go. Next to that is your gold tone. We have fewer than 90 available. That's executed again in the Sandblast finish on the black leather strap with the black mother of pearl dial. And last but not least, the black ionic plating. A little bit sportier, I think, with the red accents, with the black mother of pearl dial again. Everything about this is really unique, Ryan. Even though we often see mother of pearl on specialty Sub-Aquas, it's the only Sandblast done. And the leather strap is a nice surprise.
Well, that's it. And, you know, this debuted actually during our 17th anniversary, and it was an instant hit. And this is the only Sub-Aqua specialty that we've incorporated this sandblasting finish. I want you to look at something here. This is what we usually do. We have different techniques when it comes to polishing that's been done. We have a high, if you can see right up here, you can see that high mirror polish that goes along here and here. And then also for the top portion of the screws, but an industrial finish right there. Look at the contrast that you get just with the different textures when it comes to the design of how we finish the metalwork within every one of these timepieces. Candy is absolutely right. When we talk about the Sandblast finish, when we talk about the leather straps, it is a rarity when it comes to this particular watch. And what I think is really neat, it'll probably show a little bit better on the gold tone version, as I'll show you right here. So I want you to look at the case, because it's only a select few of the Sub-Aqua specialties. When we're talking about a case and cradle design, this is the cradle on the outside that you see all done in that Sandblast finish. But look at the case.
Wow.
The case is mirror polished on the inside of this watch. So it's something you rarely see when it comes to this particular timepiece.
Well, and think about all of the elements that have to be assembled so precisely so as to not dig into the Sandblast finish and as to not disturb that bright polish. There's a lot of work that goes into just the finishing of these pieces. You're loving all of the executions. I would say the most demonstrable in terms of Sandblast is the gold tone. The silver tone has a little place in my heart, though, because that platinum mother of pearl is so incredibly unique. And that Sandblast finish in the silver tone goes right into the gray leather strap. I can't even think of the last time I saw a gray leather strap like this in Invicta's brand. So here's your silver tone. It is almost completely sold out. And on the leather strap, Ryan, even I can wear this on a smaller wrist.
Of course you can. And what it's due to is actually what we call that hinge system. So you'll see on the side of the strap, see how the strap will actually, it maneuvers. So if you have a bigger wrist, it'll accommodate. If you have a smaller wrist, it tucks in and just delivers you that ultimate comfort when it comes to this watch.
Uh-oh, 1 dozen on the silver tone. 1 dozen. They're telling me I've got to try another one on. I think the black is a little more sporty because of the red. The gold is very dressy.
Yes, it definitely is. So leather strap, black leather strap, large croco embossing that goes along. And then it's the gold tone variation. So you're actually ordering this as the gold tone. So you'll see that design that's been done, the complexity that goes along. It is really one of our most favorite case designs we've ever created out there. And it's not anymore that dress-up variation, but then just has that different look, that different effect with that Sandblast finish. We're talking about the movement. The movement is the ISA 8371. So that tells you your time, date, and there's also a 30-minute chronograph, which is designated over at that 9 o'clock position, and also your fast runner, which is designated down at that 6 o'clock position, which measures your 1/10 of a second. So you want a big, bold look at 52 millimeters in the wrist and that strap that just wraps around that genuine Italian leather, and just really have the only version of this that stems from our very popular, highly anticipated Sub-Aqua Specialty Collection. You have to check this out.
I got to tell you guys, if you want it, it is almost gone. Last call on the silver tone. Only a few dozen each in the black ionic plating. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen the Sandblast finish done on the black ionic, because it's typically done on the gold tone, the silver tone executions.
We've had that before. The black, I think we may have on an aviator once when we were in Mexico.
Okay. Yeah,
But that's,
I can't remember seeing it.
That's a good point, though.
And Courtney says that Michael did get the Maori in the purple.
I saw that.
Yep, excellent. And, Darby wants to know when the Tourbillon Magnum is coming. We don't even know, do we? Is it December?
Let's just say you have to stay tuned to Justin's Instagram page. That's Being Zimmer, so follow him. Stay tuned to my Instagram page. That's Invicta Ryan. We both got a chance to see that the other week.
Did you?
It was something, yeah. Barely anybody's seen it. It's gorgeous. And the thing is, there are going to be very finite numbers of those watches. So you definitely need to follow both of us so you can have a chance to be able to get that watch when it's released.
Terrific. If you would like this, you need to lock it down right now. Keep in mind, anything that sells out now, we cannot call Invicta and place additional orders for the holidays. Everything that we have is already planned for the rest of the year. So whatever we get in is not something that we can reorder at this point. This is the first time I've actually seen this one. So I know it debuted during the 17th anniversary. I never saw it at the time. It must have been super limited. We restocked a few of them only. The silver's gone, a couple each in the black and in the gold tone. If you are purchasing multiples, and I know a lot of you are in that no-buy zone, I just want to remind you of the Evine credit card and the ability to use 12-month financing if you have that Evine credit card. If you don't, you can call us and apply for it. Also, if you are new with us and you're not familiar with our return privileges, we do typically 30 days. Right now, since we're 2 months out till Christmas, we're honoring holiday return privileges all the way through the end of January. So it's really risk-free shopping if you think about it. To get your watch home, you basically just say yes to Value Pay, and you make the first interest-free payment that's on your screen. On this one, it's $25.83, and then we ship you the watch. We don't believe in layaway. This actually stays away with you. So it goes under the tree for Christmas, or you start wearing it. Either way you go, #1 top-rated style of watch in Invicta's brand is the specialty Sub-Aqua. So that's basically the framework of this watch. And this one is the only Sandblast version that we have. So enjoy wearing it. Enjoy showing it off. And gosh, is that the only mother of pearl dial we've seen today? I think it might be.
Yeah.
I've not seen another mother of pearl dial. It is last and final call forever on this Sub-Aqua Noma 6 Combat. It's a numbered limited edition to 300 pieces made for the world. We have the final 1 dozen forever. Final 1 dozen. 500 meters water resistant. And it actually, with that master calendar, hasn't been seen on the air in over 13 months. So it was kind of fun to be able to have the final quantities of that. Oh, if you missed last hour, they brought us a mid-show surprise that we didn't even know about. It is a rare look at a Sub-Aqua Noma 2 in a numbered limited edition with abalone. And it's $142.99. None of us are really sure where that price came from, but a few dozen left in the gold tone, and that is it. So let's talk about the Poseidon. We're really into the water theme today, that's for sure. What are you guys doing? They're playing football with the 1-slot dive case. Invicta is invincible in detail, and a perfect example of that is the Poseidon. So who is the King Titan in your life? Maybe it's Mr. Justin Zimmer. You never know.
I feel strong with my leather coat.
With many tridents executed as elements on this timepiece has been one of our top sellers, but these are all 4 new executions. We're going to deliver it in a mystery 1-slot dive case. It means that it's going to come in a 1-slot dive case valued at $40, but what color you get, you won't know until you get it home.
Yeah.
$199 is an incredible value when you consider that you're getting in the box, and here are the executions. Are you ready? This is your Gunmetal Gray, very limited. Would you consider that combat or not?
Absolutely.
The Gunmetal Gray.
Yeah,
okay.
I would. Yeah.
So that's more of the combat
it's all
version.
grayed out and everything.
Here is the silver tone black, of which there are just a few more than 100. This one is my favorite. Yeah, is that your favorite too?
Yeah.
The rose tone black.
That's high end.
Fewer than 100. And then probably the sportiest of all the versions, and another one that I really love, is the Gunmetal Red.
That's always a hot choice.
Yeah.
It's almost like Black Label. because everything's done in black with the pops of red.
Bracelet version,
Yep.
$33.33 to get it home. The problem is we do not have thousands of these. We're down to hundreds of them available. And what we have now is what we're going to have really for the rest of the year. So why do you think the Poseidon is such a popular
It's big because
one?
the details that are packed into this piece again. Remember we were talking about Sub-Aqua. Whenever you see Sub-Aqua, you know you're doing good. This is a Sub-Aqua series. Now, it's one of the more rare variations. Typically, we talk about the Nomas, the 1 through the 6, the Sub-Aqua specialties, the Venoms. Those are ones you commonly see. This one is a lot more rare, so that makes it more exciting, I think, for the collectors. Now, does that mean you have to be a collector to get into this watch? Absolutely not. If you want to get into a high-end design with high-end materials, this is the watch for you, too. Now, you're going to notice you have the designs running throughout the build here as well, with the section of the lug system right here, the water pitchfork, the
water pitchfork.
What's it called?
The trident?
The trident design. Good
the
Lord.
Water pitchfork.
Tom, producer Tom.
You can tell, let me just tell you, you can tell that he has boys at home.
No, producer.
And he didn't watch The Little Mermaid year after year after year.
Producer Tom
like
came up
did.
with that one night, and it was just hilarious. So for some reason
The
I
water
remembered
pitchfork.
that, but
well,
not
Tom
the trident.
also doesn't have
So you have the trident.
a little girl at home.
You have the trident design. You're going to notice it's mirror polished. It's at the 6 o'clock and the 12 o'clock position, by the way. So right there you're getting to something very sophisticated. But check this out now. We are modifying the locking crown guard system. That's the trident design, but it's extremely functional as well. That is protecting the crown on your watch right there. So you're going to see that inspiration done throughout the build. Let's talk about structural integrity and quality of the build. This is built to 50 atmospheres of water resistance. That is over 1,600 feet. Now, to start talking about true dive instruments is a little bit over 600 feet, a little bit over 600 feet. This one is over 1,600 feet. So there's no argument as far as taking this in the water. You just want to make sure that the crown and function pushers are pushed down. Now, since we're talking about the water pitchfork, or the trident, if you want to call it that.
Can I just redrop? Because they're telling me that the rose gold is really starting to sell out. So I want to get that one front and forward.
Watch as I start to unscrew the function pusher. This is the next generation, next level engineering, and we talk about Sub-Aqua series. So I'm unscrewing the function pusher, and it looks like the trident design is holding the function pusher. So as I'm rotating this, you're noticing that is actually releasing itself from the trident design. And then when it's all the way unscrewed like this, you can operate that chronograph on your timepiece, guys, because this is powered by that Grande Swiss parts variation of the Grande Extratech caliber Z60. So chronograph, day-date complication, and the dial itself is stunning. You have that kind of honeycomb design that's been done, but then the sub-dials done in a beautiful, intricate vertical brushing. And the reason why we've done this with this contrast, it's very easy to read. Very easy to read the sub-dials on this build. Then you're going to notice the date opening here at the 4 o'clock has that beautiful trim work detail that's been done. I mean, even the bezel on this piece, you can see the DNA of the Sub-Aqua collection on the bezel, right? Like the Sub-Aqua Noma 3 design, that deep machining on the 60-second scale. And then, of course, you have those elongated station markers running all the way around the bezel as well.
You know, for a super heavy-duty Sub-Aqua, it's extremely wearable. It's actually about as wearable as the Sub-Aqua Noma 1 and the Sub-Aqua Noma 2 for the women. So, gals, if you love the full sizes, but you're not quite sure if this lug area is going to work for you with a smaller wrist and if the bracelet actually has a little bit shorter links, which really work with the wrist line nicely. This fits my wrist to perfection. Easy, easy, easy to have this size. So,
look at that.
who is the king of the ocean? And believe me, once that you-know-what movie comes out in December, it's going to be all things Aqua. It's going to be all things.
I sent you that picture. You wanted to run into Aquaman when we were
Kings of the Ocean.
At Comic-Con. We were in the right place.
At the wrong time.
At the wrong time.
I know. Aquaman was there in the flesh, right? And yeah, you got to get the water pitchfork out of your vernacular before you meet him.
I think he would find it funny.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, who is that guy in your life who absolutely digs the water? Who's the captain of your ship, right? Is he the dad that takes the kids jet skiing every single day? My husband was.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
When my kids were growing up, every single day my dad was on the water, my husband was on the water.
That sounds like a good time.
Everybody was. Maybe you're the dad that sat there, and I'll bet Ryan was one of those dads, that sat there with his little girls year after year after year, rewatching and rewatching and rewatching The Little Mermaid. You dads deserve this one.
Under the sea.
Deserve this watch. My daughter, I think, lived in her Little Mermaid costumes, plural, for 3 solid years.
Nice.
Not just on Halloween.
Yeah.
All the time. So what are you going to be in for Halloween?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Deadpool every year.
Oh, you are?
It's me, yeah.
I thought you were Spider-Man.
It's time to make the chimichangas.
All right, what about you, Ryan?
I think I might be that scary clown.
Scary clown?
Oh, Megan.
With the red balloon?
With the red balloon?
Oh, I don't like scary clowns. They creep me out.
Well, I'll be sure to come over trick-or-treating at your house.
I'm not going to be home.
You know what, though, Kenny? We've worked like the last 3 Halloweens together.
So we deserve to have it off. Did you guys have it off, or are you guys working?
We have it off.
Aha! No Invicta on Halloween. That's a first. Shh. Okay.
So like I was saying,
I heard you.
Sub-Aqua series, extremely exciting. Let's get into the bracelet. Let's keep in mind this is the full bracelet execution. You have, we were talking about the Sub-Aqua where it almost looks similar to the Sub-Aqua 3 on the bezel. Look at the bracelet. It's a massive 3-link design. Now the original Sub-Aqua Noma 3 had this huge center link, but it was rectangular in design. Now you have the chevron design, kind of going for the look once again of that that trident design that's been done, but you have that beautiful texture. Keep in mind this texture is going to continue to flow throughout the watch, and that's the secret. The designs flow beautifully, so the texture goes up into the bezel of the piece. You're going to notice it's on the crown and the function pushers as well, that same similar texture that's been done. What's really impressive though, when you look at this section right here, this is machined out. Not only the texture, but the trident design. And then a great illustration of the fit and finishing techniques that we're talking about. Look at the mirror polishing, giving way to the beautiful texture. There's no blending over, there's no bleed over. That's laser, start and stop again. That is a refined detail. That's why we've really become so huge in the watch collecting community, and that's why everybody looks towards Invicta to get these beautiful designs. Look at the deep dish
see the case back yet? The case back on this
There's more
is
of the
so
trident.
Cool.
Yeah.
And think about what goes into that as well. You can even do a little engraving on the back of that case if you want to. So if you're joining us for the very first time, you can find us here every single Sunday night for Power Play. That show goes from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes it ends there. Now, next week, we will go right into a YouTube show after Power Play. By the way, there is a YouTube show tomorrow. Who's doing it with Fatima tomorrow, 2 o'clock?
Ryan.
Yeah. With Fatima at 2 o'clock.
3 p.m. East.
3 p.m. East. Okay. On YouTube, so you can find us on our YouTube channel. The great thing about shopping with us and watching YouTube is you can watch, you can shop, and you can chat.
Yeah, it's fun.
All at the same time. It's very interactive. And by the way, Todd, or should we call him Mr. Leather?
Whoa. No, we should call him that, please.
Mr. Leather.
Please. I don't know. Are you a leather guy?
He is doing.
Or are you more of a fuzzy handcuff kind of a guy?
First leather jacket show for the gents and the ladies. Where's your leather, Mr. Newton?
Knight Rider has it over there.
Night Rider Ryan?
That's good.
Night Rider Ryan.
That's good. You know what? There is a resemblance.
Oh, boy.
I can't believe I didn't think about that.
Kit, we have to get out of here right away. Coming, David.
So Todd has leather, and leather.
That's right.
And some things other than leather. Coming up at 1 a.m. East, right?
Leather.
1 a.m. East. But he's got, you know what he has coming up next hour, don't you? Want to do it with me? 1, 2, 3.
Pizza.
Diamonds.
Diamonds. You got pizza? I'll take pizza.
No, when I do the countdown, it's all about diamonds.
Diamonds coming up.
It's the only thing we count down.
Over 3 carats of
This is
diamonds.
gorgeous.
20 minutes.
Are you kidding me? In a Monster Beastable watch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Look at this. Oh, this is that black.
I am typically, I'm going to be honest, straight up. I am typically not a combat fan, but this one with the gunmetal has enough contrast that it looks really cool, and it's a little bit easier to read.
You know, because we're ordering as dial. So it's actually done in black ionic plating.
Yeah.
It's triple black. Black bracelet, black case, black bezel, but the dial is more, it's grayed out. So we're calling that gunmetal, absolutely a combat edition. You're going to notice even the date wheel down here, that's grayed out. You have the gray loom on here, so it will still glow very bright during bullet situations. This is what it's all about. You know, we've been talking about crystals kind of heavily throughout the show. This is that Flame Fusion crystal. I don't think we really expanded on that yet. Flame Fusion is a material that we've developed after many years at Invicta that's giving you the best of both worlds between sapphire and mineral. So not only is it impact resistant, check this out, impact resistant, it's scratch resistant too. So I mean, we're talking about upgrades on this piece. And then Kendi is showing you too, it ships in a dive case.
It does.
A 1-slot dive case. Here's how you take care of Christmas or the holidays or birthdays. You get this home, you put a bow on here, and you're good. And it's not like there's just a case with a watch on the inside.
Well,
it's a cool case with a
Another
Sub-Aqua Poseidon on the inside.
Because the guys are going to see this under the tree, and they're going to get into it. So right here, you put a lock on it, ladies. And that way, he won't know.
There you go.
Put a little wire, put a little chain lock through there.
You got a lock. You can't put a zip tie. Any smart man would just cut that off and re-zip tie it.
Absolutely. And hopefully he's not a welder, so he can't.
A welder?
He can't get the lock off.
You get the blowtorch?
If he's a
I'm pretty sure
welder,
if he's got a blowtorch, it doesn't matter if you have that case
That's what
lock.
I'm talking about. That's what I mean.
Take care of that.
$199 is amazing. If it didn't come in the case. I'm thrilled that it does. This is this event only price that we're doing for the holidays.
Launch.
The Poseidons have been selling out over and over and over again. It's been one of your top selling styles over the course of the summer. It was a huge, huge hit. This is one of the rare bracelet versions. It is the bracelet version in 4 new executions. We've not seen these executions before. It is, in fact, 500 meters water resistant. So if he is a man of the sea, you know, he loves to sail, he loves to boat, he loves to, what do they call it when they're on the surfboard behind the boat?
Surfing?
It's not called surfing. Is it wake surfing?
Wakeboard.
Wakeboarding?
Wakeboard.
Wakeboarding, wake surfing? I don't know. I don't do it.
Why
Tubing?
not?
Maybe he's a fisherman.
Maybe.
This would be great for the fishermen as well. So if you would like it, lock it down now in your color choice. It looks like, Dave, which is going to sell out first? Is it that rose tone?
Is it the rose?
Definitely the rose 06 dozen. So,
what?
And the Gunmetal Red is also leading the way on this. And ladies, yes, 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 yes. You can absolutely wear this one. I think
Isn't
the
that
bracelet's
cool?
so comfortable on this.
I mean, that red design, it's almost like Black Label, if you remember, where it's all done in, you know, the black ionic plating. So it's almost like combat, like we were talking with the black variation, but this one with the black red, you have pops of red, not only on the bezel, but you're going to notice, look at this, the trim work. Look at this, the trim work around the sub-dials, the trim work on the hour markers, the hands, it's all done in the red. So that would, I mean, technically,
That's
this could be Black Label.
I love that.
Yeah.
Darby wants to know if there are any other color executions coming out for the X-Wing this year.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. That was very Minnesotan. Oh, you betcha.
Oh, you betcha.
Oh, the colors.
Don't you know?
Oh,
You gonna bring
they're
some bars
the
out
colors,
with it?
they'll be coming.
What kind of bars are you going to bring out with it? Lemon bars?
I don't know. You lost me with that one. I don't know about lemon
That's a
bars.
Minnesota woman thing.
Lemon bars?
We bring bars to the party.
Bars?
Bars. Yeah. In
I don't care.
Chicago, we bring beers.
I love
Beers.
I love sugar in any form. Does not matter. Bar form, granular form. I can just use a spoon. It doesn't matter.
All right. So 2 incredible Sea Life watches. The today's top value, along with the Poseidon. Well, I believe we're going to check in with Mr. Leather.
I only wish I was wearing leather. That would be so apropos. But I do like the name Leather. Let's make that stick. Hey, coming up at the top of the hour, the Invicta gift revolution continues. And here's the piece that my dear friend Kendi and Jay-Z and Knight Rider were talking about. This is the largest piece in the Invicta collection. This is your 63 millimeter Grande Octane. But get this. Look all throughout that dial and around that bezel. Over 3 carats worth of diamonds. Diamonds are Toddy's best friend, and I'm going to share them with you coming up at the top of the hour. Leather out. Out.
Leather out. I thought leather was in. That's why we're wearing it. Oh, the #1 top selling in the Sub-Aqua series or collection is the 3. There's a 1, there's a 2, there's a 3, there's a 4, there's a 5, there's a 6, there's the Venom, there's the Specialty. But of all of those, and look at what Jeff is bringing in, One Glove Jeff, on the Jeff cart. Thank you, Jeff. The #1 top seller in a brand new execution. And even though technically we're not calling it the Shark, It has a very Shark feel because it has that Shark silicone strap. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, buddy.
You know what we need? Well, you know what we need, though? One more thing. No, not a jacket. I've got my jacket on. The box. This is kind of like 8-slot box night.
Yeah.
This Sub-Aqua Noma 3, I can't remember the last time we delivered a Sub-Aqua Noma 3 to you in an 8-slot dive case. Thank you, Jeff. And it is going to be a mystery box. So you don't know what color it's going to be, but it will be a $73 I can actually show this to you because you haven't seen one before. 8-slot dive case. There you go. So what are you paying for the Sub 3? Like $115? Think about that. If you subtract the value of the case, that's remarkable.
I mean, if it was only the watch, you're getting a fantastic buy.
Oh,
and
gosh, yeah.
It's a $73.50 bonus that you get on top of it with everything. And so the Sub-Aqua Noma 3, I like to say this is really legendary to us as a company. It's over a decade old. And when we actually came out with the 4th generation, we retired this 3rd generation. But with that, we actually brought it back due to customer, just customer outrage, basically, because they wanted more. And it's really interesting, Kenny, because we have 6 different generations of the Sub-Aqua series out there. And this one, we've had over 450 different variations of the Sub-Aqua Noma 3. And to be fair, these are 2 different versions, but you think about how we can take one design just of one collection of one specific generation and have over 450 different designs.
That's astonishing.
Yeah, you think about 30 collections and all the different series and all the different generations out there. We're putting out more than 4,700 models a year. And the Sub-Aqua Noma 3, so many collectors say, you know what, this is one of my top favorite collections from Invicta. This is my favorite collection from Invicta. I love it for a multitude of reasons. First of all, it's 50 millimeters, so it's really just a modern man size out there for a watch. It's Sub-Aqua. So Sub-Aqua means underwater. I grew up on the water. I still love being around the water as much as possible.
Captain Ryan.
Yep, I'm a captain. I've been a licensed captain since, 1995.
How old were you when you were licensed? Fire pants on fire.
But yeah, so for 23 years, I'm involved in high performance boating still, and I just love being around the water. And Sub-Aqua means that underwater version. Al grew up on the water. He's living on the water. He's yachting on the water. He's diving underwater. This is a professional dive watch at 500 meters. We have a patent on the case that goes along with this watch. We have the screw-down function pushers, screw-down crown, the crown protector that goes over. On the inside, we have then a Swiss movement, and it's the ETA G10 on the inside of this watch. So it's a quartz caliber movement, meaning it's a battery operated. Chronograph will time up to 10 hours. I love the embossing that goes along for the dial on the inside with the Sub-Aqua Noma Dragon that you'll find that's a part of this watch. And then what's new about this too, the newer variation, is that we do have the silicone strap, and it's that shark variation that we were talking about, that shark gray that goes along with the metal elements, with the macro knurling that goes all the way through. And we've also have that gold tone that's been applied to even the screws, that level of detail for this watch.
This is a piece the ladies can wear. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a big watch. It sits up off the wrist, almost 20 millimeters. The dial on this execution is really cool. I love the Sub-Aqua stamping all throughout the dial. We're going to be able to go to the phone lines, I think, one more time and take another phone call. We're going to go to Texas and say good evening to Tim. Tim, welcome to our Invicta Power Play tonight.
Hello?
Hi, Tim. How are you this evening?
Hey, how are you guys doing? Hey, Justin, how's it going?
Justin's doing great, but he's over there.
Ryan's out here. Justin's back in the wings. What are you shopping for tonight, Tim?
I'm sorry?
What are you shopping for tonight?
I'm shopping for everything you guys got going there. I have one question from all my Invicta friends, which is a lot, is how come there's not more watches with numbers?
With numbers?
Good question.
Yeah.
You know what? So when it comes to that, I mean, we still have. I mean, I would say probably, maybe about 25% of our watches probably have numbers on an annual basis. So that's over 1,000 different models every single year. But like, for example, in this one, just we have the different designs in the dials where numbers, we couldn't, like, for example, in this watch, Tim, numbers wouldn't really play that well. So we have in the big silos, if you will, for the hour markers, to still be able to dictate the time and have a unique dial. So, but that's a great question, though. But if you go to Evine's website, you can search through and you'll find dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of different options, even with the Arabic numerals.
And if you'd like to see more, just let us know. We are all on Facebook and Instagram. Send us notes. We filter them through to our buyers and Invicta on a regular basis. The gray strap I've not seen in silicone in quite some time. It was what we used to call kind of our shark edition. It's nice to have it. I think it's a great new, different look. And even the dial, though it's black, it's more of a dark, rich gunmetal feel, I think, on the dial. $31.67 gets it home. It's a brand new execution for you. And we are now only about 7 minutes away till the end of our Power Play show. Do we know, were we simulcasting on YouTube as well? Do you know?
I believe we were. I mean, it's always going. So.
All right. All right. Well, if you were chatting there, I'm sorry, we were not chatting there today, but we were actually chatting on our brand new Facebook page, which is called Watch Connection. Just simply Watch Collection. And you'll see us chatting there on a regular basis now and posting what's coming up. Oh, boy. If you missed it last hour, since the price goes up in 6 minutes, here's one more look at the lowest price ever on your Akula. Well, at the end of this hour, we are saying goodbye to the lowest price ever on the Akula hydroplated version. It's 77% off. 77% off. I only have a few dozen in the gold tone, just a few dozen more than that in the silver tone, and on a value pay of $25. This is one of the coolest Akulas ever.
Yeah.
Because the hydroplating is done in almost what I would call a camo leopard print or a camo Cheeto print. It's a very interesting look. So for the men who like camo, I think you're going to love it. For the women who love the animal print, I think you're going to love it. And because it's so slim, I think it's built for the ladies and the guys.
Yeah, so the watch is 15 millimeters slim, and that's actually, that is a narrower profile. That's 5/8 of an inch rising up from your wrist when you have this watch on. Solid link bracelet. I mean, it's going to have a nice solid heft of just, pure purity that goes along with the timepiece. But it's the unique design that goes along with either the silver tone or the gold tone variations. And we were talking about this before. First of all, it's the hydroplating that we have. So it gives you a unique design where we can take a two-dimensional object and apply it with a multi-step process to a three-dimensional object such as this timepiece. I want you to notice, just looking through the links, see how the different links will actually carry the design through? I mean, it's just a brilliant process that we're able to use. And if you have 6 dozen, 600 watches in your collection, if you get this watch, it will stand out from everything else that you have because this is the only time we've done this particular hydroplating, this design, and this is the only Akula that we've ever done the hydroplating to. So it really makes this unique. And I think this is just a one and done. I don't believe that these are coming back.
You may never see this particular camo animal print hydroplating on any watch ever again. You may never have an opportunity to pick up any Akula with any hydroplating. We just don't know what's coming down the pike, but how cool if you're a collector to have this potentially one-of-a-kind look. It's still 300 meters water resistant, which means this is a watch. Even though it has that hydroplated surface, it's durable. You can do almost anything in it, right?
Well, that's it. And people were asking when they first saw this, they were nervous. They're like, well, is this process, this hydroplating you're talking about, is it durable? Of course it is.
They use it for cars. They use it for helmets.
Right.
Right?
Well, that's it. And I just want to even show you. It's so cool. If we can just look at this for 1 second. Look at the bezel. I want to show you right down here at the bottom. Look at how the hydroplating actually just carries through, like, for example, over here to the inner portion of the bezel and then the outer portion that rotates. See as I rotate everything? See how the inner portion of the bezel stays stationary? But everything matches up for the design when it comes to the hydroplating for this watch.
And there is a helium release valve.
There is on this variation, yes, and 300 meters of water resistance. So the watch has that integrity outside of just the very a cool design when it comes to this newer design within the Akula collection, when it comes to the unique design of the hydroplating process that we've applied to these timepieces.
Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us during this Invicta Power Play show. We are here for 2 hours every Sunday night. I think the only break we're taking is there's a Diamond Day coming up on a Sunday.
Okay.
But other than that, we're back with you next Sunday as well from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern. And then we go into a YouTube show after that. Join Ryan in his YouTube show with Fatima tomorrow at 2 Central, 3 Eastern,
We
right?
have 3 hours on air beforehand, and then we go into the YouTube show, and then I have another block of shows tomorrow night. Justin will be here, too. It's going to be a big day for Invicta, so if you can, definitely tune in to what we have to show you.
Todd Newton's bringing out the big guns and the big, ready, 1, 2, 3, diamonds. We were not in key at all, but that's okay. It doesn't matter when you get diamonds, right? We're going to recap some of the highlights of the show today. If you are looking for the today's top value, the black is limited to fewer than 300. The silver tone is not that far behind. You're loving the gold, but the runaway hit is absolutely the purple. Now, here is what's remarkable to me. That comes in a $73 8-slot die case. Who knew, right? And we have last call on the Sub-Aqua specialty, the only Sub-Aqua specialty in inventory with the Sandblast finish. I don't know that I've ever seen sandblasting done on the Black Ionic before. That might be a first. And the leather strap is also a rarity on the Sub-Aqua specialty. 10 remain forever. 300 were made. It's a number limited edition in a master calendar complication in a Sub-Aqua Noma 6. In the combat. 10 remain forever. It's the end of the number limited edition.
Big deal.
And this was a huge surprise. Honestly, you will probably not see a Sub-Aqua Noma 2 for the rest of the year. I think this is it. It's a brand new markdown in this Sub 2 in an abalone dial. We have only a few dozen remaining in the gold tone only. Well, I hope you're in the mood to shop some more because Todd Newton's going to be joined by Justin Zimmer. They've got a few more hours of Invicta and then leather by Merck coming up at 1 a.m. Eastern Time. I will see you guys tomorrow night, I believe, with some more Invicta. In the meantime, have fun shopping with Justin and Todd.
The Mark New York Luxury Outerwear Collection offers year-round style with universal attitude. Tune in for the premiere, 1 a.m. Eastern, only at Evine.
Don't miss the Invicta Gift Revolution on Evine.
Are you ready for a little gift-giving magic tonight? Let's go ahead and start the holidays right now. It's never too early to get festive together, is it? I'm Todd Newton. I want to welcome you and only you. Forget about the millions of others that are watching us right now. Forget about the collectors. Forget about those new customers. It's all about me and you tonight because I've got 3 hours of the Invicta Gift Revolution. I'm talking more than a dozen pieces that you've never even seen before. Some of them are just going to blow your mind, such as this brand new piece, new for us. 659236 is the Invicta To Know S1 Rally. Look at that on a bracelet. Can you dig it? $229.99, $38.30.